Fulfilling Dido's request, in Book 2, Aeneas takes us back 10 years into the time of the Trojan War. At the moment the tale begins, the Danaans have constructed a giant wooden horse with a hollow belly. They secretly hide their best soldiers, fully armed, within the horse, while the rest of the Greek army lies low some distance from Troy. The sight of a massive horse standing before their gates on an apparently deserted battlefield flusters the Trojans.
Near the horse, the Trojans find a Greek youth named Sinon. He explains that the Greeks have wished to flee Troy for some time but were prevented by a fierce storm. A prophet told them to sacrifice one of their own, and Sinon was chosen. But Sinon managed to escape during the preparations, and the Greeks left him behind. The Trojans show pity on him and ask the meaning of the great horse. Sinon says that it was an offering to the goddess Minerva, who turned against the Greeks after the desecration of one of her temples by Ulysses. Sinon claims that if any harm comes to the wooden statue, Troy will be destroyed by Minerva's wrath, but if the Trojans install the horse within their city walls, they will rise victorious in the war against southern Greece with Minerva on their side.
Aeneas continues his story after Sinon finishes speaking. Two giant serpents rise up from the sea and devour the Trojan priest Laocoon and his two sons as punishment for hurling a spear at the horse. The snake then slithers up to the shrine of Minerva. The Trojans interpret the snake's attack as an omen that they must appease Minerva, so they wheel the horse into the city of Troy.
Night falls, and while the city sleeps, Sinon opens the horse's belly, releasing the Greek warriors. The warriors kill the Trojan guards and open the gates of the city to the rest of their forces. Meanwhile, Hector, the fallen leader of the Trojan army, appears to Aeneas in a dream and informs him that the city has been invaded. Climbing to his roof, Aeneas sees fighting everywhere and Troy in flames. He runs for his arms and then heads to the heart of the city, joined by a few of his men.
Aeneas and his men surprise and kill many Greeks, but are too badly outnumbered to make a difference. Eventually they go to King Priam's palace, where a battle is beginning. The Greeks, led by Pyrrhus, break into the palace. Pyrrhus kills Polites, the young son of Priam and Hecuba, and then slaughters Priam on his own altar. As Aeneas continues his story, nearly overcome with grief over the slaughter, he sees Helen, the cause of the war, hiding. He determines to kill her, but Venus appears and explains that the blame for the war belongs with the gods, not Helen. Venus advises Aeneas to flee Troy at once, since his fate is elsewhere. Aeneas then proceeds to the house of his father, Anchises, but Anchises refuses to leave. But after omens appear, first a harmless tongue of flame on Ascanius' forehead, then a bright falling star in the sky, Anchises is persuaded to flee the city.
Aeneas takes his father on his back and flees with his wife Creusa, his son Ascanius, and many other followers. Unfortunately, in the commotion, Creusa is lost from the group. After everyone exits the city, Aeneas returns to search for her, but instead he meets her shade. She tells him not to be sorrowful because a new home and wife await him in Hesperia. Somewhat comforted, Aeneas leaves Troy burning and leads the survivors into the mountains towards safety.